and cats. What's going on? What's going on? Thank you for coming to uh Messy Boots Thursday. And we've been kind of fighting all of this doggone weather up here in my city, all of this doggone snow. God, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. But you know what? It's just something that, we have to deal with. It's crazy. I don't know how much snow we got, but I just know it's terrible out tonight. It's cold, it's windy, we got the street plows coming on. I mean, it's just crazy here. You know what I mean? Kudos to the people that's in California and that don't have to deal with this type of weather. I'm jealous of y'all, but you know what? Listen, we're used to it because we're New Yorkers. So anybody that's up in the upstate, y'all already know this is what we have to deal with. You know what I mean? So yeah. So I know it's a lot of live streams going on tonight. Actually, I was in one. Donald, y'all go subscribe to him. Donald Goins. He was doing a Cash App giveaway tonight, and your girl was lucky to win twice. Blessed me with a Cash App and everything twice. And yeah, he's definitely real. And it was so much fun because it wasn't no drama or anything like that. It was just fun. It was play. And and it just gave it gave everybody a chance just to win a couple of bucks and also have fun. you know so yeah, I'm hoping that once my channel starts making a little bit of bread, I'll be able to have a giveaway of Cash App giveaway and everything, be able to give back, because sometimes that's what we all need to do. Sometimes we need to give back, and we need to show appreciation to the people that support us. You know what I mean? Yeah, we have our Cash Apps going on, and we have our memberships going on and stuff like that. But sometimes it's good to give back. It's good to give back to your subscribers, especially the ones that's been there, since day one, that's been hanging in there with you, good or bad. Even though they may go into other chats and somebody might be talking stuff about you, but they're not going to respond because that's just not how they are. They're going to stay neutral, but they are going to listen, and that's just, and that's just somebody that supports you and that's going to be by you and stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, I want to just thank Donald again for for doing the Cash App giveaway, and I had a ball, and I know it's a lot of other people in there that had a ball too, because that's what we need. YouTube shouldn't have to always be about drama and pulling up and doxing and all of that. Sometimes you need to have some downtime, have fun, because I believe that with his channel and the way that he's going, I believe that he's gonna go far. He's gonna go far and stuff. Especially if he keeps up with the Cash Apps and the little quizzes and the podcast and the radio stuff. So he's got a lot of goodies in the work. So y'all definitely need to stay tuned and go subscribe to his channel, because I'm telling you, he's got a lot of good stuff going on. You know what I mean? And and I guess also go subscribe to, okay, Slim Babe. I don't think she has a channel yet. But yeah, so for all the new people that's coming in, please go subscribe to Max, Boogie, uh um Eve, Coolin, um um One Man Band, Double Up. I mean, as if they come in, I'll announce them and stuff, and you guys can go and try to go and subscribe to their channel and stuff, because I've always said plants can't grow without water. You know what I mean? So I think that if we all support if we all support and drive traffic over to different platforms and stuff, that platform eventually will grow. You know what I mean? With the help of us. It's not like, oh, well, you know what? I'm not gonna, tell this person about this channel here, or her channel, or his channel, because I don't want them to get more subscribers or get more views than me. No, it should just be like everybody should be able to eat at the same time. You know what I mean? Everybody want to eat steak. Everybody want to eat, eat shrimps and all of that stuff. Nobody don't want to eat no oodles and noodles all the goddamn time. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Let me put these up. So anyway, y'all, before we get into the show, I just want to say that, I have my the Visor Gang, please, it's and I made this announcement yesterday. It's $3.99 to become a part of the Visor Gang. You get a sticker thing. And I also will announce you, as far as the Visor Kings, the Visor Queens, the Visor and the Visor Honeys. So we have you have a selection and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Right now, top Visor King is Patrick, and the top Visor Queen is Eve. They yeah, and Miss Lakers. So I have a quite a, I have people that joined the membership. You know what I mean? And we gonna get there. We're gonna get there. We slowly climbing, but I appreciate it. I really, really do. I appreciate it. So, oh boy. So besides all of this drama and stuff that's going on in YouTube and all of that, but you know what? YouTube is just gonna be YouTube. Um, okay, what is this channel? It's Donald Goins. Donald Goins. If you type it in the search on YouTube, you should be able to see his channel and stuff. Because matter of fact, he was live a little while ago. So, and I'm pretty sure he's still live. But if not, he will definitely be stopping by my house, because he did say that, he was going to be stopping in, because I told him that I was going live after I left his panel and stuff, because I was having such a good time over there, playing the games and stuff like that. But I knew I had my live stream, and I knew that, I had my people to come and they want to hang out and stuff like that. So yeah, so tonight, tonight's topic, we're going to talk about, allegedly all of this shooting that's going on in the school, and some of these young kids and teens that's, allegedly, taking these, guns to school. Are they sneaking them out the house, or, are they, they're just having access to, all types of firearms and stuff. And as I was doing my research, it kind of made me think that, are some of these kids taking these allegedly these guns to school for clout, or they're taking it for protection? Maybe some of these kids, some of these kids that's in school, they may be getting bullied to the point where they're just at their wits end, and sometimes things happen where, the kids are kind of like, you know what, I'm not going to take it anymore. You're not taking my lunch anymore. You're not taking, you're not shoving me into, a closet, or you're not doing this, you're not doing that. And they go kind of, they kind of lose it. So, that's what we're talking about tonight. And also, I'm pretty sure that, some of these kids, I'm not saying all, but some of the parents, they might be like, you know what, I'm about sick of these girls messing with my daughter. I'm going up to that school, or and then she go up to the school and try to, talk to, allegedly like a principal or a counselor or something, and they act like they can't do anything, or unless they actually see it. And then eventually, who knows, the parents say, you know what, I'm not gonna allow this to happen anymore. I'm gonna take matters into my own hands. And 9 times out of 10, when that happens, yeah. So protection. Let's see what Candy is saying. Protection causes bullying is getting out. Yes, yes, it is. It is. Um, it's definitely getting out of control, and and you hear it on the TV and stuff like that. Um, but you know what, I do feel kind of bad for some of these kids, because some of these kids are, some of them are little ones, they're little little ones. And then you got some of the ones that's in kitty not even kindergarten, but y'all know what I'm talking about, like in middle school, and some of them are big kids, they're huge, like some of them, like some of those 10, 11, 12, 13-year old girls, they look like grown women. And you got a smaller little petite little girl going in there, she's going to get bullied by the bigger kids, far as, her lunch being probably taken, or they're making fun of her, they're making fun of her clothes or something like that, because she can't afford, her parents can't afford the $200 sneakers and all of that stuff, because y'all already know, kids today, they want the best of everything, you know what I mean? And the parents might, work a 9 to 5 and struggling and trying to get kids, what they feel that, hey, this is what I can afford. But the kids, they be like, mm-mm, no, mama, that ain't happening. You not gonna give me no Bobo sneakers, and I gotta go to school in front of all those kids and stuff, because they're going to be clowning me. You know what I mean? But the parents, they kind of like, well, you know what, this is what I can afford, you know. So it, like I was saying, tonight's topic is, I mean, would that cause a teen or someone to allegedly take a gun into the classroom, or hide the gun in their locker because they're just so fed up? Are they doing it for protection because they're scared, or are they doing it for clout because they want attention? They want attention from the other kids, like, oh my god, don't mess with Billy, because Billy's known to, to allegedly carry a firearm or something, and he'll try, and Billy will try to throw that firearm around and stuff, just to either for protection, or he's doing it for clout, because he wants the other kids to know, listen, don't mess with me, I'm nothing to play with, you know what I mean? So yeah, so let me drop the link in case anybody wanna talk about it and stuff, because it is happening now. um Allegedly, you turn on the news and stuff, you see allegedly all these um all these kids, young kids, you know carrying these firearms into school, or are they doing it for protection, or are they doing it for clout? You know what I mean? And I think it just goes both ways. But I think it just sometimes, you got parents that, that's from the streets, parents is from the streets, and they're known to carry a firearm and stuff. It's just gonna be nine times out of 10, the parents gonna go up to that school, and yeah, and they probably gonna try to talk to someone, just to try to see if they can, try to put it into the bullying and all of that. But if that don't work, then the parents, they might just get so fed up and be like, you know what? Next time that person come up to you and start something, you better be the first one to swing, or you better do something to defend yourself. And 9 times out of 10, if that person sees allegedly a firearm laying around the house or something like that, and the gun is not secure, they're going to take that. They're going to take it. They're going to take it. They're going to hide it, and they're going to take it into school. You know what I mean? And yeah, and that's just how it goes. Um, yeah. Wait a minute, hold on. Yeah, it's okay. So Katie said it's overall stress of school peers and what's going on at home. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. You know, but like I said, it's is it for do kids do that? Do allegedly some kids do that for the for clout or protection? Because they're scared. You know what I mean? And it kind of makes me think that you know uh prison I believe is the same way as the school, because if you're just say if a person goes into prison and stuff, and he's a little guy, you know um yeah, and he's gonna be scared, especially if you got a 250 pound bubba on your hands and stuff. You know what? you're gonna have to try to figure out you're gonna have to try to figure out if he stepped to you, what you gonna do, how you gonna defend yourself, or are you going to try to be known to probably cut the first one that approaches you? That way it gives a signal to the other people, hey, don't mess with little Johnny, because Johnny, he'll cut you down the sides. And 9 times out of 10, now Johnny got clout, and ain't nobody gonna mess with him. And I say it's the same thing in the city school district. If you got someone taking allegedly a firearm to school, and they just a little small little pint sized person, either they're gonna do it for protection or they're gonna do it for clout. You know what I mean? So yeah. Um and that's just how it goes. You know what I mean? Um, so yeah, I already dropped the link. So whoever wanna come up, Ronnie's in here. I didn't see Ronnie. I didn't see Ronnie. Oh my God, who is this person here? Okay, Love Face. All right, I see that you're always in my chat. I really hope you subscribe to my channel. I know you're a troll, but you know what? You're always welcome, because you don't start anything. Basically, you do come in and you do sit and listen and stuff. So please hit that like button and share my live stream. Candy, if you want to come up, because I see that you have a lot you want to say and stuff. So girl, don't be in no chat. Come in and hang out with me. Um, yeah. So I'm hoping that everybody can hear me tonight, because it's bad in my city. So I'm just hoping that my StreamYard and my internet connection, y'all, everybody's able to hear me clearly. You know what I mean? So yeah. But yeah, so Candy, okay, all right. I'd be sleep really quick. Okay. All right. Um yeah, I'm just sitting here, and then I'm talking and stuff. And like I said, whoever wanna come up, they can, and just talking about all this stuff that's going on in these allegedly these schools and stuff, and how some of these kids, are they getting bullied? You know what I mean? And I hate to say this, but you know are some of the black kids, are they bullying some of the white boys or white girls in the school district? You know what I mean? So, and also it's just not it's some white people that allegedly too, they could be bullied. Because you got, believe it or not, everybody thinking, it's like, all right, well, this person is Caucasian, so they can't fight. Yeah, okay, that's not true, because I'm gonna tell you, um, when I was growing up, and the town that I lived in, it was mostly, I mean, it was black people, but it was a few Caucasians. But I was always thinking, like, you know what, these Caucasians, this and that. But you got some Caucasian girls that's tough, that will fight a black girl. And 9 times out of 10, a black girl might think, listen, she's Caucasian. She can't do nothing. I'll beat her ass. And sometimes, if y'all look, it's public information. Some of them Caucasian girls be wearing the hell out of them black girls. I hate to say, but and the same thing to go with the men. Some of these black dudes thinking, oh, you know what, he's Caucasian. I'm gonna kick his ass and come. Yeah, yeah, and they get a big surprise. They get a big surprise because 9 times out of 10, you know, the Caucasian guy end up winning. the Caucasian guy end up winning because the black guy was always thinking, like, you know what, I could, this dude, man, please, he's Caucasian. I beat the shit out of him. Now, especially if the person know how to fight. So you don't know how, if that person know how to fight until you swing on them. Then you swing on them, two things can happen. Either you're gonna get knocked out, or you gonna get the best of him, or he gonna get the best of you. If he get the best of you, you're done. You're done. Because there is some tough ones. They are some tough Caucasian white women and white men that can fight. And will whip ass. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I'm gonna tell y'all just like that. You know what I mean? So yeah. Um. So yeah, I guess it's just on me just to sit here and just chit chat. But just like I was saying, the city school, some of the city school districts and some of the charter schools and stuff like that, um yeah, they gonna have problems, and especially if it's in an area where it's just known for drug activities and shootings and all of that stuff. I mean, and then some of the teachers, they're scared, or they don't want to get involved. Half of them just be like, you know what, let me just do my lesson. Let me just be able to make it up out of here and go home to my family or my husband or my kids or something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I think some of the teachers, allegedly, I just think some of them, what, they don't care. They don't. The only thing they care about is making it back home and picking up that paycheck. Maybe some of them might care, some of them, but some of them are just like, you know what, I'm just here to get my check. I'm just here to, you know, uh, uh, do what I got to do as a teacher. And some of them, they may not even, they'd be like, you know what, let's just go ahead and push Johnny on up to the 6th grade, because yeah, I need him out of my class because he's a troublemaker. He don't want to listen. He don't want to learn nothing. Let's push his ass on up to the 7th grade. Be done with them, and she'll get him out of her class. You know what I mean? Yeah, and she'll get him out. Hey, Headhunter, how are you? I hope you're still subscribed to my channel, and please join my Visor gang. It's $3.99. and you would be considered visor king. Um, yeah. Right now we have a couple of visor kings. Um, but yeah, Patrick is the top visor king of the channel because he does support the channel and everything. So I'm just hoping that we get more people, to come in and hang out and possibly, join the visor gang. You know what I mean? Um, so yeah. Hey Harlem, can you come up? Can you come up and holler at me? I want to ask you how it went. I want to ask you how it went last night. I'm ready to get off of this topic and get on to something else. Let's get on some meat and potatoes. I want I want some of that meat and potatoes. Can you come up and give me some of that meat and potatoes? And I'm pretty sure the trolls are hungry too. They want to eat. So let's come on now. Come on, let's eat. You know what I mean? Hey, Miss Lakers girl, what's going on with you? um. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, my IG. Yes, my IG. Matter of fact, I was supposed to have checked my IG. Because I had a few people, I guess wanted to holler at me last night, but yeah, they probably did. I didn't check my Instagram today, but um yeah. So let's see. Miss Lakers, if you want to come up, you can. We just talking about, what's going on and and some of these city schools or allegedly some of these charter schools and stuff, and how some of these some of these kids are allegedly getting bullied, and some of them in order what they defend themselves by either carrying a firearm to school. Are they doing it for protection, or are they doing it for clout? And 9 times out of 10, just my opinion, I think they're doing it for protection because they're scared. You know what I mean? They're scared, and or they're just tired. They're just tired of getting bullied. They're tired of being embarrassed and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because how they look, you know. And I believe that that's how a lot of them get bullied, because it's the way they look, it's the way they dress, it's the way that they can't, they can't afford those expensive stuff that some of these other kids they can afford. You know what I mean? Yeah. Hey, kitty girl.
Hey, what's good?
Not much, girl. I was just talking about, about some of these kids and stuff,
Oh, yes.
and you know where I'm going with this. How some of these kids that be in allegedly some of the the school district and the charter schools and stuff like that,
Oh, yeah.
and how some of these kids, they're getting bullied by because either the way they look, the way they they're not dressed the way that what I mean. Some of these
Kids
other
are
kids
fighting each other
are.
just because if you're not wearing like the new like shoes that just came out. Like kids are mean.
Yeah, right, exactly. You don't if you don't have on the latest Adidas sweatsuits and the matching
Yeah.
shoes and all of that stuff, you know, um they're gonna get teased. You know what
It's
I mean? They're gonna get teased. And but some of the kids, and I'm not saying all of them, but some of them now, some of the kids, they just kind of like they just kind of out of control because they think that some of the parents got money, got a money tree in the backyard.
they do. They're
You know
entitled.
what
They
I
feel
mean?
entitled.
They go shopping, and mama be like, listen, you can't get those $200 sneakers,
No,
and
not
they will
everybody
have
can
a
do
fit
that.
in the store, girl.
Right, there's other things that's more important.
Right. You know what I mean? They be like, Mama, I don't care if you got to pay that light bill. So what? Pay it next week. I want these new shoes.
They don't understand that.
You know? like Cat Williams said, I got candles just waiting to burn them. Don't care if
Right.
the lights get cut off or not. Hey, Miss
But
Lakers,
then
how
you also
are
got you got those parents that do go out there and spoil their kids and give them whatever they
How's
want.
my mic? Is my mic echoey or is it okay?
It's okay
It's
now.
it's okay, but yeah, you're
Uh,
right. You're right, Candy. You do got those parents that will go out and spoil. But here's the thing, though. When they get older, and they already set in their ways, they are going to be devils because
Right.
they're gonna be so spoiled that listen, and they're gonna expect for a man to spoil them too because if they're used to getting what they want, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
but you know what? Even if you give your kids, your kids have nice things. The kids that don't have the nice things pick on the kids that do have nice
True.
things.
Boy, it
And
goes
I'm gonna
back and
tell you, my kids got picked on. I mean, like even though they went to school with kids that was like maybe on the same financial level as them, but they got
Mm-hmm.
picked on because they was smart. They got picked on because they was high yellow. They got picked on because they had long hair. It's amazing what people turn and pick on you about. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right,
yeah.
right.
if you got real hair that's long, you get picked on. If you got weave in your hair, you get picked on because of that. They always find a way to pick on a child. So a lot of kids sometimes take them guns to school because they're bullied on. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And
Yep.
it turned around to be for that reason. But I know once my kids got to high school, I took them out and homeschooled all of them. I didn't want to. I just couldn't go through it because my kids started to be ashamed of being smart. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't finna let that, derail them in their education. So I just
Mm-hmm.
homeschooled all of them through high school.
That's good. That's how my oldest is. She's 10. She's getting bullied because she'd rather, instead of being at recess and running around, she'd rather be reading her book. And I said, there's nothing wrong with that. That's not your hobby
Yeah,
to read. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong.
Right, right, right. But yeah, but it's a lot of kids. There are there are a lot of kids in school that they end up missing a lot of school. Some end up missing a lot of school, and a lot of them, they're gonna have a hard time. They're gonna have a hard time with math. They're gonna have a hard time with this or whatever. And I believe half of the time when they're in the classroom, um, they done fell so far behind, but yet they still try to go to school here and there. But some of the other kids, they're a lot more smarter in the classroom, but the teacher might ask the person a question or answer, and they're gonna be scared to even answer because they know. Listen,
Right.
I don't know.
yeah,
So
yeah.
here
And
comes
then you know what? You get a teacher. You get a teacher every once in a while, and I'm gonna say this like in public schools that every once in a while you have teachers that care whether kids learn or not. Then you have a lot of teachers that don't care because the kids so bad when they go to school
right.
that the teachers that they just go to do their job and that's it. They don't put no extra into it, and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And I just thank God we was blessed to send our kids to, private schools, but that they not even no better than public schools. It's horrible. Like the first time my kids ever saw drugs was in school. You know what I'm
Especially,
saying? It's so many things that your kids get exposed to being in the school system. I love homeschooling. Like I homeschool my grandkids now. I can't stand that my grandkids even went to well, my grandson only went for 1 year, but my granddaughter went for like about 4 or 5. And
Mm-hmm.
she just couldn't take it no more. She was like, Granny, can I just stay home and go to school on the computer? She was like, I don't want to go back to school. She was like, I don't like kids. Kids are mean. You know what I'm saying? And I homeschool them, because I don't want mine to ever feel like, you got to be less than who you are because if somebody don't like you for who you are.
Yeah.
And that's just so bad with our kids nowadays. Like, I remember when we was going to school, it wasn't like we didn't get bullied like that. You know what I'm saying? We pretty much stuck together. And you went to school in your neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? You had your friends. You went to school. You had fun. You hung out when you got home from school. You know what I'm saying? You hung out in school. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't so much of all that bullying like it is now. It's
Bullies always
horrible.
materialistic. They bully over materials.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then like nowadays, but if you don't take care of these kids nowadays, that's why so many kids be drug dealers. These little young boys and stuff be so young because their parents sometimes be on drugs or
right,
just less fortunate where they can't afford to take care of these kids and they get out and start hustling young, you
right.
know?
Exactly, exactly. But what about some of the what about, allegedly like some of the teachers that be like, you know what, little Johnny, he don't want to learn. Every time he's in my class, he cuts up this and that. I'm just gonna go ahead and pass him on to the seventh grade. Let somebody else handle it. Does that
Right. But you know what? You ever see where the parents come up to school and the child might be bad. The parents come up there like, oh well, my child don't do this and my child don't do that, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I feel like I remember one of my I'm gonna just say this, and all my girls lawyers now, but they talk like me, okay? And my one baby girl was like, oh, the teacher lying on me. I ain't talking in school. She lying or whatever. I'm like, girl, you a lie. She ain't lying because you talk all day at home. So I know you don't go to school and shut up. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I ain't never ever, unless it was like a sexual thing, I never ever let my kids make me feel like they was more right than the teacher. The teacher was lying. I'm like, the teacher has no reason to lie on you. Now I ain't gonna say some of them might not do it, but I knew they teacher was not lying on. I knew when you know your kids, you know what
Yeah,
they capable of doing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm not gonna go fight and argue with no teacher and for you can have your way in school. And there's so many kids that you see that where they got like horrible behavior and the parents can't control them at home. So they send them to school and they can't so you can't control them at home. What you gonna do when they go to school? Nothing. You don't care what they do because they off your hands for 8 hours. You ain't gotta be bothered with them.
Right,
They
you ain't
somebody
got
else had
right,
that.
you ain't got to be bothered. Right, exactly. You don't have to be bothered. And you know what? I feel sorry for some of the bus drivers because I'm pretty sure people understand
Oh,
what I'm talking
girl,
about.
that,
They don't sit their
yeah.
asses down on the bus. They be spitting out the window. They
Oh
be
yeah.
cursing. They be throwing stuff out. I don't think I could be a bus driver because I know I've been but no little Johnny can't ride on my bus no more. He too damn bad.
I know. Have you see you see like on the news when they showing those school? I mean, even if you ever pull up on the side of a bus, kids be all in your car. They be like,
Right. That's
"Hey,"
what I'm
they be
saying. That's what
cussing.
I'm saying.
They
That's
did.
what I'm saying. And they stick their tongue out, their middle
Yeah,
finger.
girl,
They
I had
throw
one
shit
kid
out
stick
the
the middle
window.
finger up. Right? Yeah, they was sticking their middle finger up and stuck their tongue out. I was like, I just look. I'm like, oh my goodness, like what? Let me tell you something. What I did one time. We was at our house in the city and it was this boy. He was just cause he had to be like about 5 or 6 years old. He was cursing, 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 cursing. I'm like, wow. I'm like, do you know your ABCs? He was like, FUB.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm
Listen,
saying.
I
That's
grabbed him by his collar and I walked him home to his mama. And I'm like, do you know your child called me the B word? He told me F you. Now, the one time he did it, his mom was like, well, he was like, no, I did, mom. She lied on me. So she was like, well, I don't know. You someone believe my child over you. I'm like, oh, okay. So let me see what I did. I video recorded him one day. And I
mm-hmm,
kindly walked down the street to his mother. I'm like, let me just show you what your 5-year-old child act like when he not here. And she couldn't believe
mm-hmm,
her child talk like that. She was like, he don't act like that when he in the house. I said, but you got to real. I like it's when he get around the other little boys that was like that he hung out with. He tried to be like they were. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to just be so doggone bad. And then she done making him apologize and he got on the punishment or whatever. But parents don't believe that their kids act a certain way when they out of their sight, and they does.
right,
But yeah, these
mm-hmm,
is bad. They so bad. And then
yes,
and everybody think it's funny. Like when you see a little kid cursing that's like about 2, 3 years old, and their parents be laughing like, "Look at little Sierra, look at her twerking and cussing and singing all the rap songs." Y'all think that stuff cute? Wait till she get
I
about
don't
like
think
seven.
that's cute,
Uh,
Miss Lakers. You
me
know what?
either. Me
I
either.
don't think that's right. I don't. That's just my in my opinion. I don't think that that's cute. I don't think that a mother. Is she got like a 3-year-old or 4-year old and he and a little and can whine better than her. And the
Yes.
mother just be like, okay, go ahead. And then especially when they have those little parties and stuff, the kids don't jump around and they be doing all types of crazy stuff now.
Girl. Like and you know what? Like my granddaughter get picked on within our own family, because not our family, immediate family, like her other cousins that like her age and stuff, because she don't know like she don't know Cardi B, she don't know Beyonce, she don't know Megan Thee Stallion, she knows no rap artists. She actually is listen to jazz and classical music because she plays the piano and the guitar. Okay, and they tease her like when we go to family events and stuff because she still play with baby dolls. And like our relative is like, you don't care that she 12 years old, she's still playing with baby dolls. I'm like, well, kids, when I was 12 years old, still play with baby dolls. They didn't start having babies at 10 and 12 years old to, later on down the line. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't care if she still play with baby dolls at 12 years old. I don't care if she don't know who, I prefer her not to know some of the stuff she don't know. And, people are like, oh, well, it's going to be bad for her when she get in the real world. No, it's not going to be bad because she wants to be a doctor. She want to be a veterinarian. You got to go to school like 100 years to be a veterinarian. You got to go long to be a
Mm-hmm.
vet doctor than you do
Yeah.
a human doctor. So I don't care that she don't know like the modern day, music that's, the hip hop and stuff, that don't matter to me. Like it's not gonna suit her no purpose that she gotta know who Megan Thee Stallion and Carly B is in her life. I don't care.
Right, right. So let me ask you something. Let me ask you guys something. So do you think like the some of these department stores that has all this little all this crazy stuff, it's just to me it's just way too sexy for a
It
2 or
is. It's for young
four or
little girls.
5 year
It
olds.
is.
Oh, the clothes they wear nowadays. Oh, that.
Mm-mm.
Mm, they don't even make modest a lot of modest clothes for little kids. They make some stuff they make for grown people for little kids. That's just like my granddaughter. She wears a 30. She's 13, but she wears a 36D in bras. Okay, and it's so funny because I went the when I go buy her tops, I have to get her tops like out of the she's skinny though, but she got boobs, and
Mm-hmm,
the
mm-hmm.
stuff they make for her age and her size. Like she wear like maybe like a 16 and a 16, top in little girls or whatever, 16, 18. It got to be a large or extra large because she got boobs.
You right.
And
You want
but the stuff they make for the summertime be like the back out shirts. I
to.
gotta
Yes.
get her stuff like a t-shirt in order, like they don't make nothing cute that's wholesome, and because she has boobs, she can't just, I just don't put her in anything because I don't want no grown man looking, that she got
Right.
boobs. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So
Shorts, skirts are
gotta,
getting shorter. It's like, come
What
on
did you
now.
say,
oh yeah,
Casey?
The shorts and the skirts they're making from dresses they're making for little girls are getting way too short.
Yeah.
every
Yep, yep. And now they're making the little thigh high little boots and the
Yeah.
little cheerleading little dresses and stuff, and yeah. And the mother will dress the kid and send him to school just like that and be like, oh, she's cute.
I remember we had to have knee high. Your skirt had to go all the way down to your knee
I
when we
do that.
went to school. And you had to bend over. I remember my dad used to do this to me. Like if I wore a skirt or something, I had to bend over to make sure, to see where the skirt came to. Like when I bent over, you know what I'm saying? If it went
Hmm.
too high, he was like, take that off or put some leggings on up under it or something. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
It was no me wearing it like it would, and I didn't care too much for skirts anyway because I was a tomboy. You know what I'm saying? But every so often, I wanted to wear one. For certain events and stuff. But yeah, my dad didn't play that when we was coming up. And
So
I just think,
yeah.
go ahead.
So I just want to ask you a question. So what do you think about some of the mothers that that's putting weave in their little baby's hair, and I'm talking about
Oh,
like
Oh, girl.
3 and 4 and 5.
that's
You
too
know
young.
what? They actually breaking their hair off worser,
I thought
putting the
so.
wig
I thought
in it.
so.
Yeah, because if you just, it's so much stuff like that you can do now. And see, well, I always just, you see how long my hair is and my girl's hair is.
Right,
I
right.
always use, but people say it's because, my dad biracial, but they ain't got nothing to do with it because biracial kids all don't have good hair,
Hmm.
but, it come with like I always use organic stuff like olive oil, peppermint oil, castor oil. Like I researched like what different things made your hair grow and did this and that, and I used that stuff on our hair. And like when my girls was, you know how your girls like when they, you know, the hair go when they hit, it's because people don't understand. Like when your kids get that bald spot in the back, it's because their head stretch and their hair don't grow fast as their head stretch. You know when they babies or whatever. But I
Mhm.
used to I would just lay mines down and put those little cute, you know, the little headbands around their head, you know, with the little ribbons in the front and stuff like that.
Right.
You know, I used to just dress it up. I didn't care they couldn't hold no barrettes or nothing, you know, at that age. But I wasn't gonna put no weave, you know,
No.
in it because weave did more damage. And then like who you're not old enough to like wear weave at that young. Well, you know what? I'm gonna say this.
No.
Some people some people put it in and you can't tell this in there, but when you see these little kids that young with these long braids, you know, like
Right.
when they
Real
braid it, when
long
they
braids, like down to their back
yeah,
braids. Yeah,
yeah.
that's
When they braid it, just make sometimes they put a little bit in there where they put the little beads on it and stuff and make it cute where it fits a child. Then you know, I
right.
guess that's acceptable. But they really the child hair is breaking off more than growing when they do that though. You know what
Right.
I'm
That's
saying?
what I'm
But
thinking. Right. I thought the same thing. I'm like, you know what? Because just being around, going into the grocery store, going here, going there, and then I see some, the little 3, 4, 5 year olds with all that long hair, all the long braids down their back. And I'm thinking, like, I'm pretty sure that that's going to damage their hair in the long run. When they get older, their hair is going to be breaking off more and more. And they're going to try to figure out, dang, why, her hair ain't even growing. No, because
yeah, and that's why.
breaking it off.
You putting stress on their hair, and you know a child hair is so soft at that age it can't handle no stress. You know, so while
Right,
you like you making them cute or whatever, but you also that's why the hair never gonna grow at that age because you stressing it and damaging it. You know, even if you braid your natural hair, you know every time you take your hair down, you know your hair always like you lose hair when you do that. You know what I'm saying? So you don't think
right.
they lose hair when you braid their hair, but you're not even braiding it just naturally. You putting, you know, artificial hair in it, you know. Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So Candy, I know I'm pretty sure you got long hair. Have you
Yes, I
ever
do.
had your hair cornrowed or braided?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Never done that. I always listen
Mm.
to it alone.
Huh?
So I've never done anything. My hair's all been natural. I haven't done anything to it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, like I said, I know, yeah. Some of some of them young girls, they go through a lot, but
But it's not
you
even
know,
them choosing, it's her mother's choosing. Like they don't have a say. They have to do what their mother's saying. At the same time, we're teaching them. You have to teach them like be in your natural beauty. Accept your beauty for what it is. You don't have to wear all that stuff in your hair to be beautiful. You can be your natural hair and still be beautiful.
right, right.
It,
But you know
it's
what? But
hard when people talk about, you
right,
know, if
right, and then also
it's the end.
pretty.
It's the natural hair is in now, but the natural hair wasn't in once upon a time. You know what I'm saying? It was never in. Like I never had a perm my whole life. I've been natural my whole life, but
Hmm.
it just got in to where being natural is the thing to do. You know,
Right,
so.
right, right.
And so now it's acceptable because they make them short haircuts. I've seen some short haircuts that be the bomb. You know what I'm saying? The girls that can't grow hair, they just go ahead and cut it down and they put the little
Hmm.
lines in it and taper it. It'd be cute as ever. You know what I'm saying? So they don't find ways to make, you know, the short hair cute and
Right,
acceptable.
right. Because I've seen a lot of, but I've also said to myself that some hairstyles aren't made for everyone. Like
No,
I've always thought, like those short little cute hairstyles, you got to have that round type of head. That's just my opinion.
Right to
And
wear that,
you
yeah.
got to be, it's got to look really cute. Now, if you got a big water head, you
Yeah,
and
you
you
can.
got you can look kind of crazy.
Hold up, this. I remember in the eighth grade, man, I cut my hair off and got that Anita Baker haircut. And you know, my favorite because I play sports and stuff. My favorite thing was to put my hair back in a ponytail or wear French braids, you know, or whatever to the back or
Right.
whatever. Man, when I cut that Anita, my hair, if I wore that Anita Baker haircut, I was like, okay, I can get a ponytail no more. I can get a ponytail on the top part, but I laid it down, but not the sides in the back.
Yeah,
It seemed like it
yeah.
took forever in a lifetime for my hair to grow back. I was so mad at myself, but it was like the in style thing to do. I was like, oh,
That's what it
what
is.
did I do that for?
That's
I
exactly
think
what it is.
everybody's
It's
doing
the
the same
end.
thing in
It's
our
the
life
end.
growing up.
Right. It's the end style. You know what I mean? And that's what we do. We fall victim to society because society comes and be like, hey, look at this hairstyle. And the first thing we
Right.
do is be like, ooh, that is so cute. Ooh, I think I look real cute. Or somebody will be like, girl, you need to get that hairstyle. That hairstyle is
Or
cute.
in the
Girl, that
magazines,
hairstyle looks good on you.
the
And what we
magazines,
do.
the girls see
And
magazines.
back when I was a kid, it wasn't no weave back then. If it was weave, it was like a stench is what people that the movie stars and the rich people wore. It wasn't no such thing. If we weren't doing all the weave, older they wore wigs back in our day. Back when I was coming up, people
Mhm,
wear wigs. It
mhm.
wasn't no
Right,
uh.
right. Right, right, exactly. But I heard the wigs back. I also heard the wigs were a lot thicker and heavier.
They looked
They
heavy.
Yeah,
How
they
you see
didn't
the old
have the
lady the
ear
wig up.
pockets.
They didn't
Right, they
have the
didn't have
right.
the ear pockets. You know what I
Nah,
mean?
them
You
wigs, them
right, you
wigs
know
was
what I'm talking
horrible
about,
back in the
Marlena. They
day.
didn't have the ear pockets.
You just see wig ladies at the you be like, boy, that wig was like a carpet. You know what I'm saying? The wigs back in the
Yeah,
old days used to be horrible. It's amazing
yeah.
where the hair has come from to back when I was a kid. Back in the '60s and the '70s, I'm like, wow, hair has come a long way.
It
And
is.
like back when I
Yeah.
was coming up, the afros was out. What I'm saying? They went, and it's amazing how things go back in time. Cause like your natural hair thing was out with the afros, then it went to the perms, and then it went to the weave. Now it's back to the natural hair with the afros and all that
Right,
stuff.
right. The natural hair
Yeah,
or the curly. I believe it's like the
yeah, the
natural
curly,
curly.
yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah.
natural curly look. So I think that it's always going to be revolving. I mean, because to
It's always
me it just
changing.
seems like some of the '70s. Because if you look at some of the some of the TV shows back then and stuff, it seemed like now some of the stores are carrying some of those same styles. With
Yeah.
the bell bottom pants and the floppy type of looking hats and stuff that they actually showed back in the '70s, like on TV. So, yeah, I think it's just coming back around. And y'all already know leather. Leather's been around for a long time.
Forever.
Never gonna
Yeah.
go out of style. Leather's always going to be in style, whether it's gonna be pantsuit, a dress, a coat. You know.
Hmm.
The
Yeah.
only thing that I said that has not gone back and revolved is like the way the world is going, like far as morals. You know what I'm saying? The morals has just gone like down, down, down compared to how it used to be. You know what I'm saying? Like this, like back when we was coming up, it was no cursing on TV, with no sexual content, on TV and stuff.
Mhm.
Like that stuff just keep on evolving to be, more and more and more and more. Like you hate to even have kids nowadays, and you gotta tell them about sexual stuff like so early in life. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
or some of
When
them will learn it out, or some of them will
out in
learn
the
it out in
street,
the street. Some of them will learn
yeah,
it out in the street, because the mama, maybe sometimes it could come from the mama not even really knowing because nobody taught her. So she
right.
probably kind of like, it is what it is. Yeah, she's pregnant. Well, nobody even taught the mama, when she was coming in.
Right.
Her mother didn't sit her down and say, you know what, this is that. She didn't know either, you know what I mean? So
Hmm.
she had
Yeah.
her daughter, she probably did the same thing. To me, it's just kind of like a pattern. When the
Yeah,
kids do
and
it, what do you
my
do?
son, he went to school the first time for kindergarten. For only year he ever been to school, and he came home and he was like, "Granny, it's a boy in my classroom. He a boy, but they let him be a girl." I'm like, "Huh?" And I had to
Mm.
I had to tell him, I'm like, oh, ask him a question like, well, do you think that's possible? He was like, no. He was like, now my grandson, you would think he can go both ways. He's a very handsome boy. You know what I'm saying? He
Yeah.
got long, pretty hair, and a lot of people think, he get mistaken for a girl all the time. He get like so mad. He be like, and people like, oh my God, you're so pretty. He like, I'm not pretty, I'm handsome. He like, because I'm a boy, I'm not a girl. And he can't stand like being pretty, but well, because like people call him a girl all the time. I wanted to know, like, did he think like, it's possible, that a boy can be a girl? And he was like, he was smarter than what I thought. He was
Mhm.
like, no. He was like, no, a boy can't be a girl. I'm
These
like,
are some
okay, so
give it up.
that's not right. That's wrong. And he was like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. I just wanted to know, like, it's amazing what they know at that age. I at 5 years old, I had nothing, no knowledge about nothing sexual at that age. I don't even
Yeah.
remember even knowing that till I got like, like pre-teen. I knew
Right.
about certain stuff. Not
Right.
at
But
no kindergarten level.
what? I'm gonna tell you another thing too that I noticed. I mean, everybody, if if you're gay, bisexual, lesbian, I mean, that's your preference. That's what you
Right.
do. But I notice now on some of these commercials on TV, they're dealing more. It seems like now some of the men, they're showing more men, on some of the transsexuals or the gay people. So I mean, TV is changing too. Some of the commercials
Yeah.
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Oh
They're
yeah. It's
changing.
Yeah, it's I seen a commercial the other day. It was two men, being parents to a child on a commercial. Like, hey,
Yeah.
they don't went all out, and then it's a lot of transgender men that got talk shows nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
Hmm.
dress women clothes and everything. So yeah, they don't come along, and I don't knock nobody for their sexual preference at all. You
Me
know what I'm saying? I
neither.
don't judge nobody because I'm not God. But
Right.
yeah, it has
Only
come.
God can
Yeah,
judge. But I'm gonna tell you something. Some of those trends, I'm just saying, and you know, I know people ain't gonna, but I'm just gonna keep it real with you. Some of those transgenders, they look good. They look good.
girl, come on now. Yes.
They
Some of
look
the
good,
ones
and they
can't
can
even
do hair,
tell
and they
that
can
they
dress their butts off. Kudos to
yes.
them because
And
they
oh
know
my
how
god, they
to
can
move.
slay they makeup be the bomb. I'm like, I don't even wear
Yes,
makeup if I could. I wish I knew how to do it like that.
yes,
Like,
and some of them be like, you can't even tell because just the way they carry themselves, and they got the beautiful hair cuts or styles. The makeup be hot, the clothes be on point. They walking because you know what I believe is that they know, and they will
They're
put down
confident.
a regular woman. They will, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
yeah.
Mhm.
It be some beautiful, and then I get, some of the men's be handsome men. So when they do the women, so they be very, very. I mean,
Yes,
even their bodies, the way they built, be nice.
even
Just
their body.
everything. Yeah.
Yes, yes, even their bodies, even if and some of them they like I said, and they can do some hair. Oh my God, they can hook some hair up. They can arch them brows that to high heaven, and they be just as beautiful and everything.
Yeah.
It's
You
like,
can't
gee,
even tell.
yeah. Like I said, just kudos to them. But I see that how some of these
I
TV
see my troll in
programs.
here.
Right, some of these TV programs and also some of these commercials and stuff. They're it's getting more and more out there where you got the transgenders and you just got yeah it's definitely out there on the
I always say
TV.
that we gonna have to go in the closet next. Like us straight people, we gonna have to go hide. It's like
Oh
and then
yeah,
it's like,
go ahead.
okay, if you not for it or whatever, and like I said, what somebody do, that's their own choice. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
if you don't say it's right, you know what I'm saying, that they be like, oh, you a hater on people that that's like that. No, it's just like, okay, I say that I choose, being a Christian, that is not, I feel like it's not godly, that God don't approve of it. You know what I'm saying? It says it several times in the Bible. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That he don't. That's the reason why he destroyed Solomon and Gomorrah. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Because
exactly.
they was having that kind of activity. You know.
Right,
So
exactly. Yep, yep. You absolutely right. And a lot of pastors won't even allow
them people in their church.
transgenders or gays in their church, because just like my friend he's a minister, and he he's like I'm gonna get my own church going. And I said, well, I mean, you got to welcome, the doors got to be open to everyone should be welcome. And I just asked him, I just kind of threw it out there. I said, what if get a guy that, I mean, he's beautiful and everything, but he liked to dress as a woman, and you're gonna close the door on him? He was like, well, Pat, the only thing I could tell you was just, pick up the Bible and just see what God say about that. And I just kind of left it alone because I knew that, it was gonna be a little controversy behind that. So, but yeah.
But then people, it's amazing how they twist the Bible to make it, when they say God said He accept you as you are. Yeah, He do say that, but then He still got guidelines to what His acceptance as you are. You know what I'm saying? Like He accept you as you are, but then it's changes you have to make. You know what I'm saying, to become to what He approve of. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
yeah,
man. Yeah. But
Exactly.
yeah, it's like I said, I mean, I have no problem with transgenders or lesbians or whatever. I don't care. I mean, that's their preference. And to me, they just regular people. I mean, we can't judge. You know what I mean?
right,
The only person that can judge, that God is going to judge, not us.
right.
We should judge. You know what I mean? Because I believe that, like they say in the Bible, God said, you judge someone, you gonna be
You
judged
be
for
judged,
by him.
judge that you not be judged.
Right, right.
And He said
So
the same way that you issue judge out, the same way you will be judged in. And then
yeah,
said one scripture that says, before you get to throwing out somebody else's eye, you need to get out your eye first. You know what I'm saying? So
right, right,
yeah.
right. But you know what though? One thing I do want to say, that I believe that, if a person, if a transgender wants to live like a woman, and if a guy comes up, and say, hey, she should that person should be honest and say, listen, I had a sex change, or I'm really a guy. But some of them would, I'm just saying, some of them will
Yeah,
not even
that's
tell.
what yeah, I don't feel like that's right. Like
I don't think that's right.
and
That's one thing that I
I
believe.
believe that's why people kill them, because they find out later that
They're
you
no
tricked
longer.
them into that I
Right,
feel like you give them a choice, even if you have your sex change. You know what I'm saying? You should still tell somebody that you had that done. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right, right.
Be-
Because there is
be-
guys out here that does not mind. They don't mind being with a transgender person. They don't, but they
Most
don't want to
people
be
say.
fooled. The straight guys don't want to be fooled, but some of these transgenders, now that's the part I don't like, because they're not being honest. They're not saying, listen, you know, I, I'm going, I'm going through a sex change, or will be having a sex change, but I am a man, but I just live life as a woman. Now, if they be honest, then it's up to the guy whether, if that's the way he's going to swing, then he's going to go that way. But if not, at least it give him a chance to say, you know what, I'm not with that. But thanks for being honest, and then walk away. But then you got some transgenders in their mind, they believe that they wholeheartedly a woman, that you cannot tell them that they're not.
oh yeah, they tell you they more woman than the real woman. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? I'm
yes,
like, wow, and
yes.
Yeah.
but the sex thing has come so far, because like some things like men wouldn't do, like back when I was a kid and my dad, like men wouldn't put a wig on. You know what I'm saying? Men wouldn't put women's shoes on. And nowadays, like, them doing that, not just, even just being a comic about it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's acceptable, where men say, well, I might do this. It's just a joke though. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really like this or whatever. Now that's acceptable. Whereas back in the days, and then some still men don't accept it. They would say a man that does that, is like, gay or whatever. But nowadays they do that and it's comical, nowadays, you know what I'm saying? Straight men would dress like a woman, put on women
Yeah.
makeup, put on women hair and shoes and clothes to be funny, you know what I'm saying? Back when it was a time, it was one person that did that back when I was coming. Take that back. Flip Wilson did it. I remember
Mm,
he's a play Geraldine. Remember when I was a kid coming up? I
okay.
don't know if I
Okay.
don't know
And
if you
that
remember
guy,
Flip Wilson.
right? And that guy, Martin, and also, what's the other guy? The one that played, Tyler, Tyler.
Oh yeah, but that was up in this time. I'm talking about back in the old, like in the 60s and 70s. It wasn't acceptable. But I remember Flip Wilson used to do it playing Geraldine. But yeah, then it became like right. Martin did it first with Big Mama. I think it was Big
Right.
Mama and on his show Martin. And then with Robin Williams, it was a lot of comedians that did it. You know what I'm saying? They
Right.
started doing and making it. Yeah. But Tyler Perry and Martin was some of the people that did it and made it real, made tons of money off of it, doing it the
Right,
way they did it.
exactly, exactly. But
Yeah.
you know what? Now I think it's now I think in today's society, I think it's just part of the norm now. You know, it's part of the norm. If you see, because I could be in the mall and I could see, some you could tell, yeah, that's a man. That's definitely a
It's
man. Or
hard to
some you
tell
just
though.
can't really tell, right, Candy?
You can. It's hard.
Right, exactly. It's hard, and a lot of them be like, because they look so much
You
like
can't
women,
ask
and they
them
carry
either because they
themselves.
get offended if you ask. They'll get offensive if you ask them. So it's hard to tell unless they're open, truly open with you.
Yeah, or when they open up their mouths, you can kind of
Right.
tell. You can kind of tell just by their tone of their vocals or something like that. But then a lot of them, you really can't, like that
No.
show, RuPaul drag racing thing. Some of the
Oh
women
yeah, they
on
be
there,
beautiful on
they be
there. Oh
beautiful.
goodness.
Yeah, they be beautiful. And then a lot of men, the straight ones be like, "Oh, I'm not watching no, I'm not. I can't watch. Oh
Oh,
my
I
God."
love RuPaul. I love RuPaul Drag Race show. I'm not gonna even lie. I like to just see like when they be making them clothes and like it's just amazing like how feminine how talented they are with
Yes,
that
they're
stuff.
very
Yeah, man.
talented.
They're talented.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're very talented, and they could sit there and they don't need no makeup artist. I noticed that they
Right.
don't need no makeup artist. They do all that stuff themselves because they know how to do it. They know.
I had a gay friend and he committed suicide last year. And I was
Mm.
so sad. And like we've been friends like 20 some years. And he dressed like a man, act like a man. He just was. He got a son. You know what I'm saying? He was married. And he just ended up, turning gay. And what he was dealing with, like he said, he was trying to get his life together, and because he kept saying that, he wanted to be acceptable to God. You know what I'm saying? And he was very spiritual or whatever, but he just felt like he knew what he was doing was wrong, but he
Right.
said he couldn't help it and he kept wanting to stop and change. He would go for a while and say, he was good or whatever, but then he'd fall back off. Like we just talk all the time about it. And I remember when he committed suicide in March. My anniversary was in March. So I was like, oh my goodness, right before it. And his sister called me
Mm.
to tell me that he went outside in his car in his garage and turned his car on and
Oh, that's too.
committed suicide. And but he was just so unhappy that he could not go back to being straight again. But let me tell you, boy, you tell me somebody can arch the heck out of some eyebrows and
Yes.
and put your makeup on, even like, what I'm saying, when I'm like, I couldn't do it my own self because I was, I never had done it. And like when I would want to dress up to go somewhere, like I was going to a party, something like that, I would call him. I was like, "Can you come make my face up?" And he'd be like,
I
"Yeah,
would
sure."
love to have, I would love to have a transgender friend. I really would,
Right.
because
It's your best
I
friend.
would want to go to the store with them because I know that they're gonna pick up the baddest outfits, and they're gonna do that hair, they're gonna do that makeup.
Yeah,
And they're gonna be
and
honest
you
with
know what?
you.
and that's what he was. He had went to school for cosmetology, so he did hair and makeup. You know what I'm saying? Even though he didn't wear it, you know what I'm saying. But he had the prettiest skin. He dressed his behind off. You know what I'm saying? Oh my goodness! I'm like,
So
as a man, he was sexy as ever. You know, as a man, he just like, oh, he was just that way. And I mean,
Yeah.
and his wife, he said his wife made him that way because she went out and cheated on him or whatever. I don't know. That's what he said what happened. He was like,
Oh.
wanted
mm,
nothing else to do with women after that. So it had to be something that, and then he was taken advantage of, by his mom boyfriend when he was a kid coming
mm,
up. You know what?
Mhm.
It's when you think about like all these people that come out telling stories about how they was violated, as a kid. Back then when we was coming up, it was, when you look at it, it was so many people that kept that stuff on a hush hush. You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't hear about it like you hear about it nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
right. There
Now,
Exactly.
was no resources back then.
Huh?
yeah,
Back then, like there wasn't as many resources. Like if you came in to tell somebody, like there wasn't the resources. I've been as a kid, I've been through it. I went to so many teachers. All the school ever did was call my parents. Like if you're reporting abuse to your teacher, why would you want to call the parents? You're just, that's not making it easier for the kid that has to go home to those parents.
Mhm.
right.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, so many coming out telling the
Right.
stories of they was touch as kids coming out, and I'm like, I always was. My parents was very protective about where we went and spent time, and I was that way about my children. Like I ain't let my kids go over anybody's house and stay. When they was coming up, I prefer them to have sleepovers at the house than them go somewhere, because you
Mhm.
never know what company that somebody keeping at their house, and your
Right.
kids
Right.
be there.
So do you think that it also starts with the little boys when they're little they end up playing with the girl dolls?
I'm not gonna say that because my sons my sons used to irritate my girls and mess with their baby dolls, you know what I'm saying? Going to get their baby dolls and be sitting there coming and my girls would be like, get the heck, come to my boys, the babies. They be like, get my baby doll, so cause my baby girl and the boys not too far apart. And my boy's straight as ever, you know what I'm saying? So, I
Mhm.
guess when you got a sister and you don't have another brother, sometimes boys do that little stuff, but then, it was like, my husband be like, oh, I'm gonna beat you up. I'm like, no, you're not. I'm like, he don't know no better. He just doing what he saw his sisters do. You know what I'm saying? Like he's going around
Right.
here grabbing
Teaching
the baby
them.
doll all the time, doing it, playing with it. But then they made boy dolls. You know what I'm saying? So how was they supposed to know the difference? Sometimes they start making boy baby dolls. Even though my boys never had any boy baby dolls, though. You know what I'm saying? But they did
Yeah.
make them for boy. So like, I don't know. You can't say, but they usually say that when they that way, they say they had that urge young. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, now you see. I don't know. I don't approve parents letting their children be that way so early in life. But everybody raise their kids the way they want to raise them. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I just,
exactly.
I just feel like
Right.
what you're doing with your
Exactly.
child, you making an influence on my child. Like my child young and has to see that. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I I just don't like it for that reason. But I can't tell nobody how to raise their child. But if it was mine, and you're gonna be that way, you're gonna be that way when you get out my house and get grown. You know what I'm saying? You're not finna be that way. While you live underneath my roof. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna condone it if I don't approve of it. But you know.
Mhm.
Some people just they all got a way to express how they feel. So
Well, somebody had told me one time that when you have a little boy that's like 3 or 4 and they want to play with the girl baby dolls, they don't want to play with the little boy, the boy dolls. They want the girl dolls, and and they want to dress them up and stuff like that. That triggers something where as they get older they want to start dressing like a woman.
Hmm.
But then on the
and
other
it
hand,
might
what
do.
happens? Right then, what happens with the little girls that want to play with the boy dolls? They don't want to play with the little girl, pretty girl
Right.
dolls. Do that mean
Yeah,
they
you
they
know
they
what?
grow up to
No,
be?
I never played with baby dolls my whole life. I've been a tomboy since I can remember. My mom used to tell, and honestly, my mom used to tell my dad all the time. She was like, "Oh, she's gonna be, that way when she get older." I'm like, no. I found boys very attractive. It was just that because I had three older brothers, I liked to do what I didn't have no girl coming up. You know what I'm saying? To play baby dolls with, or paint fingernails with. You know what I'm saying? And I was a daddy's girl, so all I knew was, basketball, boxing, football, you know what I'm saying? And then I had my best friends were boys, you know what I'm saying? So from the time from 4 years old, I played basketball, I boxed. So I ended up just being a real bad tomboy, but I found boys very attractive, you know what I'm saying? I just didn't want
Mm-hmm.
to, I didn't want to be all involved with a boy. You know what I'm saying? When I was coming up,
Right.
but I didn't
Right.
like doing things. I didn't like doing things scribble, but that didn't make me want to be, you know, with no female,
No.
because I like doing boy things. Just was a tomboy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that always make you that way because you like doing things. Because who's to say something for a boy to do, something for a girl to do? You know what I'm saying? Who made that choice to say? So it was a time when
Right.
women didn't work. You know what I'm saying? So how can you say something is just strictly for a male and something is just
You
strictly for a
can't.
female?
They see
I
toys.
Right.
just
Right.
feel like,
Right.
They don't
Yeah.
see gender. They see a toy for being a toy. They don't see like, oh, this is for this gender. No, they see as it being a toy. They want to play.
yeah, they see
Right.
somebody else playing with it, they play with it. You know what I'm saying? Now,
Mm-hmm.
if you see a boy walking around at 3 years old and he's walking around the house with your heels on and stuff, and you let him do this all the time, then maybe that might rub off on him a little kind of way. You know what I'm saying? If he got your wig on and your shoes on and carrying your purse
Right.
around, yeah,
Right. But
maybe
sometimes,
you might
right.
want
But
to stop
sometimes
that.
right. But sometimes I believe that happens, especially if the little boy got an older sister,
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, kids are gonna play,
Right,
but
play, right.
he might be liking to walk around in those high heel shoes
But does he see
and the
it's not
little
as
girl
high heels
putting
or she's
fingernail polish on them and stuff. Now you got the mama coming home or the daddy coming home, and now you're gonna have a problem. He gonna have a problem because they gonna be like, no, 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 we ain't going like this.
Right, right. So yeah, you stop it. You know what I'm saying? But if
Mhm.
you just keep letting it go, thinking, oh, it's okay. It might not be okay. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you need to
Right.
stop
See,
it.
the
So
mama might think that, oh, that's so cute. Oh, why you do
yeah,
that to your little
yeah.
brother? Why you do that to your little brother? But meanwhile, little brother be like, I want to keep this fingernail polish on. I like it. It's pretty.
Right.
I don't know.
Like,
Look, I
what?
think my husband would have had let me tell you my I do my own fingernails and my own feet and stuff. And like I was sitting on the bed one day, and, I had a towel down. I had was you know doing my feet, and my son
Mm-hmm.
was sitting on the bed with me, and he got the file, and he was filing the bottom of his feet with it. And my husband came in there, snatched him off the bed, snatched the file. I'm like, wow. I'm like, he just gonna have some. He gonna know how to take care of his feet when he get older. He's like, nah. He sit under you too much. He gonna end up being. I'm like, oh my
Yep.
goodness.
That's the
Sometimes men
thing.
take it too far, and
And they
and let me
Right.
tell you this.
Right.
My son take care of his feet to this day. He love, what I'm saying? He don't have bad feet for a man. You know what I'm saying? He makes sure his feet soft or whatever. Like I tell
right.
my husband, you should learn because your feet you feel like a Brillo pad in the bed. You know what I'm saying? The heck
Mhm.
out of here.
Mhm. Mhm. And they learn at an early age, They mimic what they see you do, and that's something that they carry on up when, as they get older and into adulthood. And that's
Mhm.
something that they're always gonna remember is to, yeah, take care of your feet, take care of your feet, you know what I mean?
Oh
And
yes.
and I've also believed too is that, you know, uh uh kind of get off the subject a little bit too, but I also believe that sometimes um, parents, they need to teach their kids better hygiene, far
They
as
do.
with the teeth and
Yes.
stuff. Because when you got you got to take care of your teeth, because as you get older and you start losing some teeth, and I see people walking around in my city, and I'm like, oh my God, I know it's Medicaid, I know it's Fidelis, I know it's Blue Cross Blue Shield and all that stuff, and they will open their mouth and their whole grill is like gone. or yellow or chipped teeth. It's like, can't you if you got Medicaid or even welfare or something like that, I'm pretty sure you can get your mouth fixed. But some of them choose not to.
Yeah, I like to laugh too much. I gotta have my grill right. You know what I'm saying? I love to
Right.
talk. So
Right, and the first thing they do is when you take the family want to take pictures and stuff.
you
Now you
trying to
got a
hold
small
your
bear.
face, hide your mouth.
Now you got a small bear mouth. But some of them don't care though, Miss Lakers. They get right
They
up there
don't.
and teeth be missing and everything and just be just as good.
Hold on, I had a older cousin that was like that, man. But he lost his because of age or whatever. But he wouldn't put no dentures or no fake teeth in his mouth at all. He was like, I don't want that stuff. My gums hard as teeth. He was like, I'm not gonna be able to not to eat. I got to take some teeth out my mouth to eat, boy. And he always had his mouth open. Always was sucking on something. Like I'm like, stop
Yeah,
eating.
yeah. Some of them just, you know what? Some of
Uh,
them don't care. And some of these young girls, they got the cute little faces and stuff like that, but got jacked up mouths, and
mm-mm.
won't go to no dentist. You know, won't go to no dentist, and the mama, she ain't gonna tell her to go to the dentist because she probably got a jacked up mouth too. Now you got a whole family with a jacked up mouth. You know, and you
Yeah.
got all this Medicaid, Fidelis, and Blue Shield, and Blue Cross, and all that stuff. And but you know what? Nope. They just
I pride myself on my teeth. I'm like, even like now, even being older, I ask my dentist all the time. He be like, "Oh, you gonna have?" He like, "You're not gonna lose your teeth." I'm like, "Ooh, thank goodness." I took care of my teeth when I was younger. Like, I'm like, that's one thing I did not want to not have teeth when I got older in life. You know,
yeah, yeah. But like I was saying, I believe that if parents would have teach their kids early hygiene, like you were saying about your grandson, how you taught him about the feet and all of that stuff. Now if they did that, I'm not saying all of them, but some of them, if they would have just taught them at an early age, you know, say, listen,
Mhm.
take care of your teeth, or take care of your body, take care of this, and take care of that. You know what I mean? But if they didn't get that, if they didn't get that from their parents, 9 times out of 10, when they have kids, their teeth probably gonna be raggedy, or they gonna grow up and they're not gonna really know how to take care of themselves. They're not even gonna learn how to wash dishes properly or do laundry and all of that stuff because they never got that from their parents.
yeah. Oh, hold up. I couldn't stand like when your kids finally got to start wearing deodorant. I can't stand a musty child. Oh my goodness
Hmm.
gracious.
Yep.
Oh goodness gracious. I used to like if I caught one of my kids, I'm like, which one of y'all smell like onions or a bag of Doritos or something? I be like,
Right, right.
I spent too much money on deodorant. I'm like, whoever it is, if I do a sniff test and I catch you, I'm beating your behind. I'm like, whoever it is, better go fix it. And then
Right,
so I
right.
couldn't stand it.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. A musty child if you
Exactly.
want to call Earl. I can't
Right.
stand
And
it.
some of them young girls too, some of them teens, we ain't leaving them out. Them young girls and stuff,
Mhm.
they be sweating. They don't be because they have the oh my God, the smell that
And they think
comes
they
off
can,
of them.
Oh my goodness.
and then
Hold.
they spray the
You know what
dance
I
on top
can't
of
stand
it.
when you see them little young girls with them pants on. I mean like preteen and teenage baby pants be so tight. And you be like,
Yes.
okay, why her mother? Do she know what kind of with JJ problems she can cause having them pants like that? You know what
Right.
I'm
Mhm.
saying?
All types of stuff. All types of stuff. And the mothers
Yeah.
don't even say, listen, some of the mothers, I'm not saying all, but some of the mothers, they be like, well, she can wear, what, that's what she want to wear. She can go out in the street. But then you got some others like, girl, you ain't wearing, what's wrong with you? Go upstairs and take that off, you
Mhm.
know? But then you got some
Lakers, I
daughters
got
that be like,
5 kids. But let me tell you something. My mom was like very strict on us. Like, well, I'm gonna say me because I was the only girl. When it came to like when I had children, you know, when I had children, like let me tell you what she did. When I had my first child, she came to the hospital with a girdle. She was like, you need to put this. You need to put this on. I'm like, what I need a girdle for? She was like, cause you need to snatch your body back in after having that baby, And she showed me how to feel on my stomach, where your stomach had separated at, where you can feel it or whatever. And she was like, just gonna pull your insides back together, or whatever. And man, I'm like, man, my body's so. I just pushed out a baby, naturally, not with no numbing medicine. You know what I'm saying? And you want me to go in the
Right.
bathroom and squeezing this thing and push this pressure on my stomach. But I did the same thing when my girls had their baby, because you know what, it worked. It, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't left with nothing, messed up afterwards in the inside. So
Yeah.
yeah, my
Mhm.
mom was very strict. On me when I had kids. I
Mhm.
guess
Mhm.
it was like it was that's what they did back, in the old days. And by my mom being a nurse, like how you go home and everybody come over your house when you have a baby. My mom, not till the baby went and had the 6 week checkup. If you came over, you had to see the baby from a distance. It was no, anybody coming over. Just my friends were like, oh, your mama a trip. I'm grabbing your mama, go home. I'm like, that's the point. She ain't going home. You know what I'm saying? She, you know, she actually come over and chill. Help you with. I love my mom to death, man. And I
Mhm.
just say this thing. My mom made me the mother I was. I helped with my grandkids, but she came over. She let me sleep. Because she was like, you ain't no good if you don't get no rest for your baby. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right,
but my friends
right, right.
can't stand it. If you came in the house, you had to sit at a distance. You had to wash, and the people that could hold the baby had to wash their hands, put a blanket like over them, because the baby couldn't touch their clothes. My mom was off the hook. I'm like, oh, she make you not want to have another baby because she was so strict.
Mhm.
But nowadays, people have a baby nowadays. They smoking weed around the baby. Everybody over there with the baby. These babies' immune system come out strong nowadays because
Yes,
they.
yes. And you know what? And I'm gonna tell you another thing too, that that I don't like either, is that when you got a guy and a girl in the car, and you got the kids in the back, and they blasting the music all in their ear.
Oh wow, yeah. I
I
don't
believe that
understand.
that's going to affect them when they get older. I really do. I believe that you got a 3 or 4 year old, 5 year old sitting in the back, and they playing that loud music all in the car, and they smoking that weed all in the car. Now the kids is all
Yeah, the
around.
kids get not. Listen, I don't understand that the kids come in there smell like marijuana, and you do too. I'm like, do you know,
Right,
like, why would you do that? Right? I mean, if you do it, like, and some people like, well, my kids gonna see what I do. Kids not meant to see everything you do. I mean, like, that's what I was taught. You don't, you don't be grown before it's your time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right,
you go
right.
off somewhere. You don't be in grown people business. What the back then was like, kids are seen and not heard. You know what I'm saying? So you go
Hmm.
off. You didn't see everything your parents did with their friends. You know what I'm saying? When they had company, you go off and play with other kids. You know what I'm saying? You don't sit up there and be right there in your children's face. And I don't understand that either. How that you see them be smoking cigarettes and weed around the kids with them sitting like right there.
Was
Nowadays,
right,
they
exactly,
let
and then it
kids
will
hit the
affect
weed
them.
nowadays.
Yeah,
Yeah, they.
and it hmm
You think like, wow, I mean, like, just everything ain't meant for your kids to see and for your kids to do so early in life. Like, mm, it's just totally different nowadays than what it used to be.
exactly, exactly. And like I said, I believe that those kids, some of the kids, I'm not saying all, but some of them, they end up having hearing problems, and then all of a sudden, they can't hear certain things as they get older, because who knows? Because they all that loud music all in the car, blasting it all in their ear, you know what I mean? And it does, I'm pretty sure that it does something to their eardrums. But the mama or the daddy or whoever, they don't really care about that. The only thing they care about is listening to some rap music. It's all that boom, 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 all in the kids' ears. You
Yeah.
know, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's just so crazy how society is, today.
What's acceptable?
Yeah, and just how, and I don't see the kids. the kids are so out of control now, most of them. And like I told y'all before, I believe half of these kids, they don't do nothing but they run the parents. They do. They run the parents, especially them boys, because most of them boys, they gonna tower over the mother, and the boys gonna feel like they can intimidate the mother. And if the mother's kind of a scary person, he gonna run all over her, run over the household, run over whatever, and
Mhm.
don't let the mama go out and get a boyfriend to try to bring in,
Right.
try to tame down the household. Because I believe that that's what a lot of them do, is because the kids are so out of control that they do go and they meet someone and they bring in the household, and they thinking, well, what, he gonna put some order in the house. And come to find out, the boyfriend
Them
be like,
boys be like, you got me messed up.
right. The boyfriend be like, you know
Yeah.
what? If you
Yeah.
can't tame little Johnny, I'm tired of Johnny disrespecting you, calling you all kind of names, and then you
But
expect me
where
to
is Johnny
chastise him.
Daddy? Where is Johnny Daddy at though?
Right,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
Then you
You
expect
know,
me to chastise him, and if I don't do it, because as soon as Johnny say, "Listen, you ain't my daddy, you better get out of my face." Now they arguing and battling. Eventually, he gonna get tired. He gonna be like, you know what? I'm out of here.
Mhm.
I don't approve of that. Like these women bringing home men. I mean, like you can have a boyfriend or whatever, but don't bring them so home so early
No.
to around your kids. 'Cause nowadays, some of these men touch boys and girls. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So
Right, right,
you don't know what
exactly.
I just don't feel like I have to feel like it should be done gradually. Like the first after you've known him a couple of days, he's spending the night at your house. You don't know if you fall asleep, like what he creeping off, where he going, or what he doing in your house
Yep.
while you got kids.
No
You
way.
know,
Exactly. Exactly. And the mama just, her thing is that I need a man. I need a man in the house. I need a man.
right,
And she will bring, and yeah, and you know what? And the man, he ain't stupid, because he already know, either he gonna feel like in his mind, yeah, I can deal with this, or yeah, I can deal with her, I can deal with her kids, or hell no, I can't deal this, I can't deal with that, but I will come over and hang out, but I'm going back home. She don't, she don't keep a clean house, this and that. My mama keep a clean house. I'm not gonna be, no, Or you got some
Mhm.
that be like, hey, listen, I don't care. Where can I smoke my weed? Where can I drink my beer? And whatever. You handle your kids or whatever. And, after they in bed, then we could chill out.
right,
Exactly.
yeah. But a man, most of these men ain't gonna do something. If you don't care about it yourself, what they gonna care for? You
Mhm.
Right.
know. Hmm.
Exactly. Exactly. Then you got some of the, see, some of the real dads, I believe that they'll step up. Some of the real ones, because they going to go in that household and be like, listen, you're not going to treat my daughter like this. I'm taking my daughter up out of here. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh yeah.
Or,
And
or,
then
or the
some women just keep a child for the check. You know what I'm saying? And they won't let the dad be in the child's life. I can't stand that when a
Mm-mm.
woman, because you're not with her, she won't let you be a father to your child. You know what I'm saying?
I
Oh,
know, right?
it's
And she
good.
holds that against, and that's another thing. It's like, and I see it happening all the time. The mama get jealous of the new girlfriend, and she holds
Mhm.
the kids. She holds the kids up like, no, no, you can't see your daughter, you can't see your son, or they're not home, knowing that they are home. But first thing the mom be like, well, she's asleep, or no,
Right.
she's not here, or something like that, because now the girlfriend, the old girlfriend, is upset because, yeah, the boyfriend, I went and got a better looking girlfriend. Oh yeah.
And it's so many men that don't want to be the father to their children. So why would you stop one that wants to be a father to their child, whether y'all worked it out or not? Y'all can work it not. Just like, listen, it's like that man. These men nowadays is killing the women and the children. Like that man that he was married, but he had two girlfriends, and one girlfriend got pregnant and had a baby,
Mhm.
where he killed her, shot her, and killed her in the head up on the, and then took the 2-day-old baby and threw the in Memphis and threw the 2 day old baby in the river. You know,
Right,
like,
right,
and that was his child. He had a 10-year-old daughter that was living, but this your 2 day old child that's yours. You know what I'm saying? You threw your child in the river. two
right. I
days
think that,
old,
yep,
six
yep,
pounds.
yeah. They don't went
Like
they
where?
went completely crazy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these men's killing the. And then you know what? I feel like it worked both ways. If you did not want a child, even if a woman says she can't get pregnant or she on a pill, you should still find a way for you to use protection where you
Mhm.
don't get her pregnant. And then if you don't want the baby, just sign your rights over. Say, you know what? I didn't agree to have this. You know, I did not want a child. If you choose to have it, because you can't make nobody get an abortion with their child. You know what I'm saying? If she
Right,
chooses to have it, be like, okay, sit down and talk to him. Be like, well, you had that baby, that's on you. I said I didn't want no kids, so if you keep it, because you can't tell a woman she can't keep her baby. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
And then I feel like you can't tell a woman she can't keep it, and you can't make a man want a child if he didn't want one. You know what I'm saying? It
Mhm.
both ways. So sign your rights over and go on by your business. You ain't got to kill the woman and the baby. You know what I'm saying? Sign your rights over to the child. And then if a
Right,
woman want to have a baby, y'all had to understand it. I'm not going to help you take care of him. Sign my rights over. If you had a baby, the baby all on you. You know what I'm saying? And let them go. Like, why you got to
right,
kill them and the baby? And then if a woman don't want to be with you, you got to kill her too. Like, I don't know. It's
right.
just
Just
so.
like that one allegedly. I seen that on allegedly one of the news clips a while ago where the boyfriend, got mad, went he killed the girlfriend, and he went to the girlfriend's mama's house, burned the house down, burnt the
Hmm.
house down, killed the mama, killed the kids that was in the house, and then they
Hmm.
they caught him walking down the road with with a gas can in his hand. I'm like, what is going on with these young kids, these young boys? It's like they go crazy. Is it something that they're smoking that something says, okay, go kill, and they just flip out? But like Candy said earlier, I'm pretty sure it's a mental things that
It,
they be dealing with.
and that's one thing we do not take serious in a society is mental illness. You know what I'm saying? No one wants to say they mentally ill. You know what I'm saying? And I don't find no shame in it because after my dad passed, I had to go get help. You know what I'm saying? I actually could not cope. I actually was so tore up. You know what I'm saying? I did not know how to deal with losing
Right,
my dad.
right.
With my dad because I was so like my dad was like my all being. You know what I'm saying? I love my dad so much. Like, and he died of cancer, and just to watch him deteriorate, and then I knew he was gonna leave. It was like so heartbreaking. And
Hmm.
I actually had to go get help. Like my girls right now, my girls in counseling because they having a hard time. You
Right,
know,
right, right,
and,
right,
and I knew they was gonna need it. But there's nothing wrong if you need some help, if you need somebody to talk to. You know what I'm saying? It's like, did you know, like within our society, that especially in our race, do you know, like suicide is high within kids, like 10, 11 years old, killing themselves. You know what I'm
hmm
saying? And that's how young it start out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like suicide and mental illness is like real. You need to find out. You mean when your kids young, sometimes kids need a counselor, need somebody else to talk to besides you. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
And it's just not. We as a race find it so embarrassing to do it. You know, um,
Hmm.
say you have something wrong with you mentally, people just too proud. And like when I tell people I got help, like they was like, oh, you seem so strong. Yeah, okay, I might be a strong person, but some things you can't deal with on your own. You know what I'm saying? And I don't care.
Right,
And I'm a
right.
very spiritual person. And people are like, oh, well, you're not praying enough. No, I do all of that. It's not working. I can't
Yeah,
cope. You know what
You
I'm
need.
saying?
yeah,
I need to find something to do. you
yeah.
know.
But you know what? I also think too is that some of these kids at a younger age, when they're in school, in the teachers and the counselors, they see that something is going on, and they pull the
And do
parents
nothing.
in and say,
Yeah.
listen. little Susie and Johnny, they're you know what, they're gonna need some counseling, or you need to get them into some mental health. First thing the parents is gonna do is be
Ain't
honest.
nothing wrong with
You
my kid.
tell me my kids is good. My kids don't need no help like that. What are you talking about? My kids ain't crazy. But soon as they start getting older, up in
Mhm.
age, all that stuff
Oh,
that they've been holding in, it's gonna come out.
Yeah,
yeah.
it
Even with
is.
COVID going on, this whole pandemic, kids need like go like this is a lot for them. They went through a lot this last year. Like kids need
Yeah.
to not every kid can talk to their parents. They need that support outside there
Right. Yep.
to
Yep.
talk to.
Yeah.
Because sometimes kids don't tell you everything, and even though you be like, "Oh, well, me and my kids got the best relationship," you might do, but that don't mean they tell you everything. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Some things they're not going to share with you because they might feel embarrassed about it, or they might not know how to tell you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Right.
if you notice something wrong with your child, you should like get them some help. And if you do that, you would think about, how much better that child would be, as they grow older. You know what I'm saying? If you nip it in the bud when they're younger, and then you don't know what your child experiencing when they're not around you, the reason
Exactly.
why they
Mhm.
might be acting out. You know what I'm saying? And they
Exactly.
can't tell you.
Exactly. That's why I was saying I believe that, sometimes the teacher and the counselors, they're gonna see it first. They're going to see it first because especially if that child is acting out in class, or he's doing stuff that's really, the teacher's gonna step to the parents, and the teacher's gonna be like, listen, you need to get this person in counseling quick, because something is not right with with his mental state. But if the parents are like, you know what, I'm just gonna ignore it, he's gonna grow out of it. He's gonna grow out of it. But meanwhile, as he gets bigger, now the anger is setting in. Now he has
Mhm.
anger issues. So soon as he get bigger and something happens, he's not going to be able to control that anger.
That impulse.
And that's where he's
Right,
going to end up doing something to somebody, hurting somebody real bad.
But he doesn't even want to hurt somebody. It's just that anger built up over time is what
Right.
caused
But sometimes that anger would turn into hurt, because that's
this.
just like a cutter. A cutter will cut themselves and stuff, not to kill themselves, but it's just so much pain and anger that they got to cut themselves to get that out. And that's where the cutting goes. And that's why, you see a lot of them with those different cuts and scars and stuff on them, because that's how they release that anger or hurt and all
Mhm.
of that stuff. They can't release it any other way, so they do that by cutting themselves.
right. There's a lot of ways they release this anger nowadays, and like I said, parents just don't want nobody telling them nothing. And then so many parents so lazy because when they kid go to counsel, they got to go with you got to sit
Right.
outside in the lobby and wait while they talk to them. And some parents be too proud just to accept that feel like they not doing a good job at parenting if their child needs some help from somebody outside. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
Right.
sometimes you
Right.
got to set that pride to the side for the well being
Mhm.
of your child.
That's true. That's true, because some mothers probably be like, you know what, I'm a good mother. You don't know what you're talking about. He might be going through some things right now, but he's gonna outgrow it. I'm a good mother. I do this, I do that, I do that. But meanwhile, you got a problem on your hands. You got a problem on your hands. But if you study staying in the dark, and people around you, not just the teachers or the counselors, but other people are telling you, listen, little Johnny, he came over to, he's bad. Something's going on with him. But you keep ignoring it and keep ignoring it. As he gets in his teens and stuff, you're
Oh,
not
it's
gonna
not
be able to handle
bad.
him. The next thing you know, what first thing they want to do is try to get him. Oh, we gotta try to get him in counseling. It'd be too late, because
Right,
by
too late now.
right, it's too
Right.
late now. It's too late. Johnny done, he's done.
It's all in
You
his
should
way.
have got him in there when he was 4 and 5 and cutting up in class and doing all this other stuff People in the family, this and that, they kept telling you, listen, you need to get little Johnny in some counseling classes. Something's going on with him. Yeah, now
Hmm.
Johnny's up in age and he's really a terror.
And it don't make you not a good parent because your child needs some help. They just need some help or someone to talk, dealing with what they going through. You know what I'm saying? Got nothing
Right,
to do with whether you're a good parent. It make you even better parent if you realize your child needs some help besides what you can give them. You
The
know,
kids
right,
take child
exactly.
needs before your own.
What'd you say,
just like
Kim?
these.
You have to set the parents need to set the pride aside and do what's best for their kids. The kids need
Yeah, right. Right.
because
Right,
people take it like as offensive. Like if your kid needs the support outside of you, like outside the parents, people take it as offense. Oh my, that they're not good at as being a parent. No, it has nothing to do with your parenting. It has to do with like your kids' need.
Just like
right.
that boy, they killed that 16-year-old girl Diamond. He shot her 22 times in the back. Do you don't think that
Mm.
boy has some signs somewhere saying that when he was coming up that he needed some mental health? Because if you that young and you can kill, and this they was dating, and I guess the girlfriend found out that he cheated on her and she broke up with him. You know, and he told her he wanted to meet up with her, and they live right down the street from each other. He came, he shot her and left. And he ended up getting found, arrested on it and stuff. But just to think at 16 years old, he's 16, 17, 18, one of them, but she was 16.
That's
And
crazy.
but at that age, you can shoot and kill. He overkilled her. You know what I'm saying? To shoot because she found out you cheated and she wanted to break up with you. So at that age, that young age, you cannot accept rejection. He had some problems way younger in life that his parents did not deal with. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? That he can do that at that young of an age to another child.
There's that
Mm.
one case
First
where
of
that one
all,
boy
mine's,
that
mine's ain't gonna be dating that young at 16. You know what I'm saying? Mine's wasn't allowed to date at that age. Mine's had
Yeah.
to wait till they got grown.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, some parents though, some of them girls, they dating that, and the parents allow. I'm not saying all, but some of those parents, they even allow the boyfriends to move in with them with the 14,
Yeah,
15, 16-year-old
yeah.
daughter.
mm-mm.
Yeah, and you know what? And then and what else is acceptable in our society? The younger girl and the older guy. Like and I ain't trying to bring up nothing, but the situation like with the singer that like younger girls that got in trouble for it now that's incarcerated.
Right, right.
That goes
Hmm.
that goes on in our society, just period, and within our race, in
Yeah.
our neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? It's acceptable. These young girls all got older men. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
nobody don't say nothing about it. You know what I'm
No.
saying? The mama feel it. Oh, it's good because now that child off her hands. She ain't got to take care of her. You know what I'm saying? She ain't got to do this and that for her. You
Right,
know what
and,
I'm saying?
the
So,
mama gonna get, and the mama gonna reap in the benefits too, because she gonna go and be like, listen, you need to go and ask such and such, that we need this, we need that, we need this, we need. So mama gonna get something too.
yeah. So do then a lot of them, if their parents on drugs, that's how they get that habit taken care of, and they ain't got to take care of that child. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right, right,
Like you
right,
said, if they ain't got less than, oh, you need to tell him you need to put some groceries in this house, and you need to do this,
right,
that,
exactly. Exactly. And I believe the mama threatens, especially if you get the ones that's on drugs and need something. She gonna be like, listen, you knocked up my 14, my 15-year-old daughter. You gonna have to give me this or this or whatever. I'm going and I'm talking to somebody. And that probably scared the heck out of him. So now he's really under, he's getting blackmailed.
Mm-hmm. But you
He's
also
getting
got those
blackmailed.
But you also got those mothers that would cover up for their kids. Like for example, that one case where that teenage boy killed that cheerleader, his own mother helped cover up his crime. Like the
Hmm.
clothes, that's messed up. That right there. I mean, you can't be.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah. So yeah, it happens. It happens every day. It just seemed like it. You know what I mean? But yeah, it seemed like more and more though from when I turn on the news, allegedly it's always about these teens now just kind of just getting out of control. You know, like I was saying about the the bully in the school and the protection or cloud or whatever. I mean, it's just that these kids
Lack of
they just got,
discipline.
they're just out of control. And like I said, I thought at one time, yeah, it started at home, but then if you got a kid that's just not listening, just completely out of control and stuff, nobody could do nothing with them. First thing the mama, she might be like, you know what, go stay with your daddy. And then the first thing the kid gets shipped over to the daddy, and the daddy probably be like, you know what, no, he won't listen. He's doing this, he's doing that, he's sneaking girls in the house. I can't have that no more. You know, and if you got a kid that's full of himself, he's gonna try to raise up at the daddy.
Oh yeah.
Mhm. You got
You
kids
know,
nowadays killing their parents because their parents try to tell them what to do. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And like I said, I'm gonna tell you, those kids showed some signs somewhere before that day. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? And nothing was done about it.
Nothing
Nothing.
was done, right? And just that's exactly what I was saying. They're gonna show those symptoms at a very early age, and if they're misdiagnosed, or the mama is thinking like, I'm a good mother, nothing, I think that I can handle it on my own. And even if she got people in the family telling her, listen, you need to go get little Nancy into some mental health some stuff because something's going on. The mama gonna be ready to fight tooth and nail. Don't tell me how to raise my kid. That's my
Right.
child.
Or
That's
people
the
just say
first
it's
thing. That's my
kids.
child. Don't tell me how to raise my child. My child is fine. Yeah.
And you know some all by the time my kids all got teenagers, they was all taller than me. You know what I'm saying? Even my grandson, I'm be in the cup. He always said all the time, like, Granny, you so short. I'm gonna be taller than you after a while. I'm like, Even no matter how tall you get, no matter how old I get, I said I would still knock you out though. Just understand
Right,
that.
right, right.
I don't care how tall you get. You know what I'm saying? Like my granddaughter taller than me already. But that's one thing I let my children knew, you know what I'm saying? And me and they dad was only, in union with it. That it was going not gonna be no disrespect. I don't care how tall you get, how big you get. I would knock you cold out if you ever think you're gonna try me or disrespect me. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? You better get the heck out of here. And I
Right,
never had a
right,
problem with it. But it's like this. You and your kids can have a relationship, but I'm not finna be I'm not your friend, I'm not your girlfriend, I'm not your partner, I'm not none of that. I'm your parent. You know what I'm saying? We can have the closest relationship together, but we not finna kick it together. You're not finna
Mhm.
talk to me like I'm one of your friends that you hang out with, you know what I'm saying, with your smart mouth. None of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna tolerate it. And you know what I'm saying? People are like, well, me and my child best friends. We do this and do that together. You okay? That's fine. But your child also disrespect you by the mouth and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
right, right,
I went have it
right,
all the time, and I
right,
have a
right.
real good relationship with my children. But I tell them in a minute, I'm your parent. I'm not your friend.
Right. So what do you think about the young mother, I mean the mother partying, or she going to the bar with her daughter, and they
Uh-uh.
You know,
drinking together.
each they own. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna just say I never was a clubber to begin with, so I never party with mine. Whatever. But I'm not finna party with mine. I
No,
wasn't, but some parents do that with their children, and I can't say whether right or wrong for them. I just never done it. Me and mine didn't.
I
No,
But
couldn't
don't you
we
do
think
not.
that's right, right? But I what what I think is that when you got a daughter partying with the mother, and I mean, does
It's an
she respect
immaturity on
her?
the mama level to me. No, I don't
Right?
feel
Does
like you
she
respect.
respect her? Because the mama nowadays, the mama wants the daughter as a friend. I believe that's where the parent thing, the link is kind of broke, because she want to be more of a friend and a hangout partner with the daughter than an actual mother. And I
That's because
believe
she's
that that's where
sacrificing
some of the
herself.
kids disrespect the parents, because they're gonna be quick to call them bees and hoes and this and that, and be ready to fight, like you said.
Yeah, but I feel like like when when it's a kid having a kid, you know what I'm saying? They so close to their age that you know what I'm saying they
That's
they are
true.
friends. they are friends with them. You know what I'm saying? Because only person you got now, because you had this baby so young, is that baby. So a lot of them do end up making a child a friend. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But you know, I was real grown when I had mine. You know, and married and everything and settled down. So mine was not my friend. You know what I'm saying? I always kept that we didn't cross that line together. We not finna party. You're not even on my level. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
there's nothing we gonna do together. You know what I'm saying? Now we might go bowling or to the movie, stuff like that, but we're not going out kicking and hanging out, and clubbing together. We not finna do that. I used to hate like if we had a gathering, a family gathering, they would have it like, at a club, somebody had a party and somebody have it at a club or whatever, and your kids go. I used to couldn't stand that. I just can't stand being in certain places with my kids, at the same
Mhm.
time. It make me feel uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? I feel like my kids should not be nowhere if I'm kicking it or hanging out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With people of my age, not your age, but my age.
Mhm. Mhm.
No. But
Mhm.
so many, like I said, so many babies having babies. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, their best friend is that child, 'cause that's all they got now.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. You're absolutely right. But yeah, I know a friend of mine. He was a guy, but then he had a what? How old was his son? 18, 19. But he used to get high with them. He used to get high and stuff. And then next thing you know, something happened and they ended up falling out. He ended up wanting to fight the father, call him all kind of names, call him bastards, bees, and this and that, and ready to fight. I'm like, oh my God.
Because
He
he had no
disrespected the
respect
father,
for him.
but
He
the
had no
mother, he had respect for her because the mother,
didn't
she
do
didn't
that
do
same
anything.
thing.
She was in church.
Hmm.
She did whatever she needed. She didn't smoke, nothing like that. Didn't swear, nothing. He respected her, but he totally disrespected the father because the father, you know, I guess opened that
As the
window where,
father
hey,
adored his father was his friend instead of his father. You know what I'm
right,
saying? That's like what I said. He had no when you do that with your children, they don't have no respect for you because like you're not a parent, you're their friend. So however I talk to my friend, that's how I'm gonna talk to you because you're not my parent, you're my friend. You know what I'm saying? So
right, right,
I don't have to respect you. You're not acting like a parent. You know what I'm saying? You doing, and a lot of people say that. Well, I'd rather they get high at home with me than out in the street because at least I know ain't nobody slipping them nothing. Okay, I understand that, but I just don't
hmm
feel like, maybe you should educate them on that. You know what I'm saying? So nobody can't slip them nothing. You know what I'm saying? Tell them that they don't smoke behind nobody or don't smoke something they didn't see road or anything like that. You don't smoke off everybody. You know what I'm saying? But that don't mean you have to sit down and do it with them. You know what I'm saying? Because they doing it. Mm.
right, right, exactly. But they like you said, they want friends. They're looking for, the parents. Some parents are looking more as their kids because, like you said, they're young themselves and they want to get out there and party and stuff. So they'll do it with their kids. But I believe that that's where they lose the respect because the kids aren't going to talk to them normally because they're like, "Mama, shut up," or whatever, "Get out of here," whatever. Totally disrespect them. You know that's only because then the mama's mad because the mama's like, "Wait a minute, I'm the mother. You don't talk to me like that." No, 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 because you done showed her that you know what you want to be the buddies and get high and smoke this and did this. So yeah, she's gonna talk to you like you somebody out in the street now. That's it.
And then I think another thing that some of these parents do wrong. Everything they do, they run to the, the social media to put it up there. Like when the kids fighting with the mama record, thing on social media, she on Facebook Live,
Yep,
Instagram Live, arguing with her daughter, cussing each other out,
I
going to
saw
show
that.
that she still with her. Yeah, look at her nasty bedroom. Look at this
Yep,
and look
I
at
saw
that.
that.
On
I
social-
saw that.
I'm
Yep.
like, oh, who does that? Like,
Right. I
or
saw
when
something like that. Right. I saw something like that on Instagram. What
yeah,
kind
who
of
does
yeah,
what?
the
Why is
mama,
running?
the mama, yep, the mama was yelling at the daughter that was in the bathroom. And
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
right, and I mean, she was just tearing at her. I mean, cussing at her, calling her all kind of names and this and that. And then she was like, look at how she keep her room. And she up on there acting like she this and she all that, this and that. This. I'm like, geez, why is she talking to her daughter? And the daughter was just being just quiet in the bathroom, trying to do her hair and stuff. And, I mean, yeah, telling the daughter's name, real name and everything.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my God.
that I don't understand. Like, why do everybody run to social media for stuff? Like, what? You need acceptance or somebody to glorify what you're doing. And I don't approve of a parent calling girls the B word or that they, HOE. Like, what? Why do you have to call your child those names? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
no
know,
matter
I
what they
know.
do, I hate to see
Right,
a parent cursing a child, especially when they be little. You know what I'm saying? They be get your
right.
mother and A and then you little B. I'm like,
I
wow,
see
like
that all the time. I see that all the time. I
yeah,
see a mother, the kids be trying to walk, I'm especially at Walmart. The kids, they already tiny enough and they trying to walk to keep up. And their mother be like, bring your fuck ass over here. Like, oh my God.
and you wonder like how they gonna talk, and then okay in life they gonna feel, especially if it's a young girl. Okay, so a man gonna talk to her that way, and she gonna think it okay because you know what, she heard you call her those things and talk to her like that all her life. So she not gonna expect nobody else to respect, have no boundaries and respect her when you talk to
Right,
her like
right,
that whole life. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be acceptable because that's
right,
all she.
right. Right, or the mama, or the little daughter, or the boy, or little baby done fell or down or something. The mom be get your feet ass up, stuff like that. I mean, like, oh my God, just the way they talk. Some of them, the way they just, the way they talk to their kids and stuff. And I understand, just kind of like, switching a little bit. I understand that, some parents, and I'm gonna go far as cooking wise. A lot of parents and stuff, they just want to load their kids down with that Roman noodles, those oodles and noodle things, and whether than really make them a home cooked meal. I believe that sometimes the noodles they're all right, but you got some of them kids that eat noodles five,
All
50
day,
days out of the week.
morning, breakfast, lunch, and dinner snack in between breakfast and lunch.
Yes,
That's all.
yes, the
And then
Roman noodles.
if you ever go to grocery store, all of okay, they're gonna talk about it's expensive to, to shop heavy, healthy. These women get way more than enough stamps than they need for these kids because they sell a whole lot of them. So you know what I'm saying? So they can afford to buy food, extra food. But you get to
Yes.
the be in line behind them. They got microwave pizza, microwave this.
Well,
Like
yep,
I say, a
yep,
ton of junk food, a ton of cereal. You know what I'm
yep,
saying? A ton
yep,
of those ramen noodles, the cup of
yep.
noodles, the
Yep,
ramen noodles.
yep. I see the boyfriend. I see the young couple. Maybe like 20, 21, 22. The boyfriend with the girlfriend, and then they got the kids or they don't have the kids. But first thing, they got shrimps. They got the frozen shrimps. They got the
Mm-hmm.
lobster
Lobster
tail.
tail.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
And
girl.
somewhere in that buggy is gonna be some noodles. It's gonna be some noodles and
You know,
noodles for the kids.
right, and you know what? And let me tell you, this is the reason why I could not stand steak when I got. So when I said when I got older, I'm like when I got grown, I'm like I'm not eating meat. I can't stand it. My mom took my dad and whatever we all ate the same thing. How she made so much steak that was my dad's favorite food. I'm like, oh, when I get grown, I'm never gonna eat steak ever again. I'm never gonna eat this and that. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
cause I couldn't stand like oh goodness, my dad loved this steak and meatloaf and all that spaghetti. I used to hate. I'm like, I'm not gonna eat meat when I get grown because I ate so much of it as a kid. I couldn't stand eating it all the time. And back when I was coming, you had to eat what was on your plate or you be hungry. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
hey, but even though we ate fruit and vegetables and healthy though, they ate meat. You know what I'm saying? So it was none of that. When
Right.
we was coming
Right.
up, and I think whatever we ate, my kids, we ate lobster tails and shrimp. They ate lobster tails and shrimp too. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
it's just like I said, they get way more enough food stamps to eat. to feed your kids healthy to where it's just you lazy, you know what I'm saying, and you don't want to
Right,
cook
right.
quick that they can make. Kids are forced to be so independent, so young nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because and it ain't like the mother at work or nothing. No, she running the streets. She on social media. She doing this and doing that. You know what I'm saying? So the child forced to take care of their doggone self. So yeah, for she don't have to be bothered. Yeah, they. I done seen kids 3 or 4 years old can put a chair up to the table to the counter and put the noodles in the microwave and make the noodles. I'm like, wow. It's like I'm like my kids can't even do that at that age.
Yeah, because they learn how to do it at an early age. Yep.
If they forced to, you be hungry. It's just bad now. And then if you make a child be so grown so early, they don't keep being grown early. So yeah, they'll start having sex earlier. Yeah, they'll get on and have a baby and mess around with the older person because they forced the group to grow up so young because the parents neglectful nowadays. It's crazy.
You- You're absolutely right. I'm telling you. But so yeah, Miss Lakers, what are you going? You gonna be down in YouTube,
Am I gonna be where?
down in the YouTube streets? Going to
Mm-mm.
chat or whatever, whatever.
No, I'm going to bed after I get off of here with you.
Well, I hope that you come and hang out with me tomorrow. Tomorrow I go live and stuff. So
Yeah.
um
Oh my God.
tomorrow it's good. I don't know. It's like I'll be drinking. I'll be in my juice tomorrow. So you already know. You already
uh,
know. It's gonna be fun time. We
hold up.
can't go out anywhere because I'm snowed in because
Right.
we got the bad storm here. So
Girl,
I
we
got
do too.
I
We
got
do
all
too.
my little provisions today, so I already know I'll be stuck in the house tomorrow.
I know that's right.
So I'll have me a couple
But
of
you know what?
tacos.
At least you stay at home and do it though. You know what I'm saying? And you're not out in the streets, drinking like that. You know what I'm saying? Being like that.
Right.
You at home. The in your comfort zone within your own home, not out in the. Ain't like you out in the bar all drunken in the streets all drunk and you know what I'm saying? You at home
Exactly.
in the comfort of your
Exactly.
own house. What
Exactly.
better place to be?
Right, right. So yeah, so Candy, you got anything you want to say before we cut out? I'm gonna play a little intermission, then I'm gonna come back and close out. You got anything you want to say?
You're still
Candy?
here?
Oh, she probably stepped away. But so Miss Lakers, I wanna thank you for for hanging out with me and stuff, and
You're welcome.
I'm gonna close out so I can talk to my dad before it get too late because he don't like to
Okay.
go to bed until he hears from me.
I
Um,
know.
so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play a little intermission and I'm gonna come back. But I just want to say thank you and try to hang out with me tomorrow if you want to. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna play this intermission and I'll be right back.
All right.
You're all a bunch of fucking assholes. You know why? You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy. Will that make you good? You're not good. You just know how to hide, how to lie. Me, I don't have that power. Me, I always tell the truth, even when I lie. So say good night to the bad guy.
Yo, Jay, you need to stop, boy. Yo, Jay, you need to stop, boy. Yo, Jay, you need to stop, boy. Yo, Jay, you need to stop, boy.
The last time you're gonna see a bad guy like this again, let me tell you.
All right, you guys. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming to my live stream tonight. Hold up, y'all. So much for coming to my live stream. I want to thank my advisor kings, my advisor queens, my advisor honeys, I just want to say thank you. And I don't know what's going on with the chat. All these different kind of bots are rolling up in here, but that's okay. The show is over. Please subscribe to my channel for the ones that did not. Also like and share this video. Let your family, your friends know to come back and hang out with me tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be live, so you'll see me live and in color, cutting up like usual. So yeah, I want to thank Miss Lakers. I want to thank Candy for hanging out with me on the panel. Slim Babe, everybody that came by and hung out with me. And I just want y'all to know, keep y'all notifications on and join the Visor Gang. It's only $3.99. You know what? And just be a part of my gang, okay? I love you guys. Keep your notifications on, and